Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim wa salatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah. Dear my students, grade 8, let's go on and complete our unit, the fourth unit for the first term. In this unit, inshallah, we are going to study grammar for past simple passive. If you remember last time, we spoke about two famous scientists or two famous women. We spoke about Clara Barton and also we spoke about Marie Curie. I have asked you before to search for famous Kuwaiti women and compare them to Clara Barton. Now I'd like you to mention some Clara Barton's achievements. What has she done? What did she do in the past? Do you remember? She has said something. If I can't be a soldier, I'll help soldiers. Do you remember? She worked as a nurse. Clara Barton was the founder of the American Red Cross organization. Let's watch a video about Clara Barton in order to answer the following question. Here we have a question. I'd like you to watch the video, and after that, I'd like you to write some notes to tell me about the careers that Clara Barton did. Let's watch the video together.
Teacher, humanitarian, and the founder of the American Red Cross, Clara Barton is one of the most honored women in American history. She was born on Christmas Day, 1821, in Oxford, Massachusetts.
At a very young age, she had to nurse her older brother who was quite sick, and very likely that led to her embracing the nursing skills and learning the skills that she used later on in the Civil War.
Clara Barton started off as a teacher and opened the nation's first free public school in 1854, before moving to Washington, D.C. to work for the U.S. Patent Office a year later.
Barton was, if not the first, one of the first women to work for the U.S. government in any capacity.
During the Civil War, Barton started aiding the wounded Union soldiers flooding into the Capitol. Soon she changed her focus to the front lines.
She saw that there was a need at the front for supplies, and she spent her own funds to bring them.
Barton earned the nickname Angel of the Battlefield when she showed up after midnight at the Battle of Cedar Mountain with a wagon load of supplies for the surgeons, and they had long since run out of things earlier in the day. She did that time and time again at small battles and very big battles, including the very bloody Battle of Antietam.
There's a story that at Antietam, she was so close to the battlefield that a bullet actually pierced through the sleeve of her dress.
After the Civil War, Barton traveled to Europe on her doctor's orders to rest. This didn't last long. While there, she met members of the International Red Cross and joined their volunteers on the battlefield of the Franco-Prussian War.
Barton returned to the United States shortly thereafter, and she brought this idea home with her. She felt that America needed a similar organization, and so she began the organization in 1881.
After founding the American Red Cross and becoming its head, Barton successfully lobbied to have the United States sign the Geneva Convention, the governing document behind all Red Cross societies. This basically made the American Red Cross legit.
In 1884, Barton saw to it that the American Amendment was added to the Geneva Convention. That amendment widened the work of Red Cross societies around the world to include not only the battlefield disaster work, but disaster relief in general.
Devoting her life to her work helping others, Clara Barton never married. At age 83, Barton retired from running the American Red Cross.
Clara Barton continued to pursue her humanitarian interests. She worked for women's suffrage, she worked with religious minorities, and she worked in prison reform.
Clara Barton built the American Red Cross from the ground up. She made that organization into what it is today. About 30,000 paid employees, over 500,000 volunteers, 500 chapters touching each and every community in this country. So that when we do something like respond to a large disaster, we embody that great humanitarian spirit that she had. That's her legacy.
Okay, what careers did Clara Barton do? That's right. Excellent. Some students say what? Yes, that She worked as a teacher. That's right. And also she worked as a nurse. That's right. Very good. Now here, let's move to speak about past simple, but we are going to speak about past simple in the passive voice. Passive voice. The passive voice for the past simple, when I say past simple, I mean verb 2. Like when I say this example, the house was built in 1980. It was built in 1980. If you remember past simple, before we said verb 2. If you are going to form the passive in the past simple, we are going to start with the object. After that, verb to be in the past, verb 2, was, were, plus past participle. So was, were, this is a part of the verb to be, second form of verb to be. Like here, the house, this one is a singular, so we use was. And verb 3 from build is built. So the house was built in 1980. If you look here with me, how can we form the passive in the past simple? We start with the object. We start with the object. So the focus is not on the subject, the focus is on the object. After that, if the object is singular, we are going to use was. If the object is plural, we are going to use were. After was and were, we are going to use verb 3 from the main verb, past participle. Past participle. So the passive voice is used to focus on the action rather than who do or who did it. The passive voice is used to focus on the action rather than who did it. If we look at this example, Clara opened a free school. Clara opened a free school. So here the focus is on Clara. The focus is on the subject. But if I want to change the focus into the action or the object, I'm going to start with the object here. The object is a free school. Free school is a singular, so I'm going to use was. Excellent. And opened, this is the third form as well. So my sentence is going to be a free school. This is the object. I use was because this one singular form. And after that, verb 3 from the verb that we have open, opened, opened, because this is a regular verb. We can use by plus the subject, who did it. Now, if you look at this one again, Clara opened a free school. This is the action. And the Clara, this is the subject. Excellent. A free school, this is the object. So how can we change into passive as we have said? A free school, singular. We use was, verb 3, opened by Clara. A free school was opened by Clara. We use the passive voice when the subject receives the action, but the active voice when the action in a sentence is performed by the subject. So the focus is on the subject when we use the active voice, but when we use the passive voice, the focus is on the action. Like here, Norman made a mess in the kitchen. Norman made a mess in the kitchen. Okay, so here the focus, yes, that's right, is on Norman. But when I want to focus on a mess, I'm going to say a mess, singular word, was made in the kitchen. If you would like to say by Norman, no problem. Now I'd like you to read this text again. While reading, I'd like you to underline 3 sentences. You are going to find the passive voice is used here. You are going to find object, was, were, plus PP, past participle. Take your time, try to read the text, be careful, and while reading it, try to underline the 3 sentences that have the passive voice in the past. Okay? You have 1.5 minutes. Try to pause the video and find them. Now let's check the answers together. Let's read it together again. Clara Barton was a very special woman. She was born in 1821 in the United States. She started her career as a teacher at an early age. Clara opened a free school and became a popular and respected teacher. When her school grew, she hired another teacher to help her teach. There were over 600 students in the school. She raised a lot of money that was used to open another school. Unfortunately, Clara was not allowed to be the principal of the new school. If you look at the sentence, Clara was not allowed. That's right, excellent. This is the first one. Clara was not allowed. Here, this is the object here, Clara. You are going to find verb to be, but in the negative form, and verb 3 from allow, allowed. So Clara was not allowed. Yes, that's right, by the government or the people who ran this place to be the principal of the new school. Her community would not let women hold this position. A male principal was hired. That's right, excellent. This is the second one. A male principal was hired. So this is the object here, was, verb 3, hired, excellent. Instead and was paid. This is the second one as well, was paid twice as much as Clara. She was demoted to female assistant. She was demoted by the organization or by the managers. So Clara here was an object, was, this is the helping verb that we use in the passive voice, and demoted here, verb 3. That's right, excellent. So these are the three sentences that we have. Go on. Due to the harsh environment, Clara suffered from many health problems and decided to leave her job. When the Civil War began, Clara worked as a nurse. She fed soldiers and cleaned their wounds on the battlefield. She proved that women can succeed in any job. Clara later founded an international organization. Injured soldiers were cared for by Clara's organization. Excellent. This is also a passive sentence. Injured soldiers, this one is a plural. So we are going to say what? Were. That's right. And verb 3, cared for by Clara's organization. Clara always said, I may be compelled, forced, if you remember this word, to face danger, but I never fear it. That's right. So now we know how to make the passive in the past simple tense. Now, you have a question in the exam or the final test. You are going to answer the question using passive, like number 1. The teacher canceled the test. The teacher canceled the test. We want to change the sentence into a passive voice. Here the focus is on the subject, the person who canceled the test. The teacher, that's right. The sentence is in the past form because we have verb to canceled here. And here the test, this one is the object. How can we change the sentence into passive? The second one, they, the subject, took some pictures, this is the object, in the old town. How can we change them into passive? Yes, excellent. Some students answer the first one. Here we have said before, we are going to start with the object. So the test. This one is a singular form, was or were? Was, excellent. And verb 3, the same, cancelled. If you would like to complete your sentence and say by the teacher, it's going to be correct. So the test was cancelled by the teacher. Let's check. The test was cancelled by the teacher. What about the second one? They took some pictures in the old town. They took some pictures in the old town. Where is the subject here? That's right, they. Where is the object? Excellent, some pictures. So you are going to start your sentence with the object, some pictures. If you look at the word pictures here, you are going to find it in the plural form. So you are going to say was or were. That's right, excellent. We are going to use were. So some pictures were, and verb 3 from took. That's right, because take, took, that's right, the third one. That's right, taken. So some pictures were taken in the old town by them. That's right. Now I'd like you in your notebook to write 3 sentences about these pictures, but try to use the passive for the past simple. Here you have 3 pictures. The first one, cookies. Second one, you have an email. Third one, you have a tree. Can you write 3 sentences using the past simple passive? The cookies, here we put them in a place or something. The email, we send it. The tree, that's right, what do we do for it? Okay, now let's check together. The first one, cookies were kept in the jar by me. Cookies were kept. So cookies, this is the object because I kept cookies in the jar. So cookies were because plural and verb 3 from keep is kept. Excellent. So cookies were kept. So we use was, were, verb 3. Let's move to the second one. The email was sent because this one is a singular. So we use was. And verb 3 from sent by my brother. So the main sentence, my brother sent the email. So the email was, because singular as we said, and the verb 3 sent by my brother. The last one, yes, the tree was watered by my sister. My sister watered the tree. So it's going to be the tree was watered by my sister. Okay, try to give generously, try to help in your society, and do voluntary work. Thank you, and see you inshallah in the next videos.